Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look back at the Princess Rooney Stakes, part of the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series. The Princess Rooney at Gulfstream on July the 3rd, a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. We break from the gate. Keep an eye on the one, Estilo Talentoso, off a little bit slow from the inside and sluggish. We also saw Laura's Light not break well at all.
Yeah, Laura's Light stumbled. She's in the pink silks there, sort of at the back of the pack between horses. Estilo Talentoso, I mean, I guess she just didn't really come out running, Dan. She winds up last early. Her rider's going to have to move her to the outside and try a wide run around the turn.
Up front, Pacific Gale, who got really good at Gulfstream over the winter, is pushing This Is My Time. But the horse you're going to want to keep an eye on, along with Estilo Talentoso's on hold in between horses at the back of the pack, is the 5 CC, a horse that showed a lot of ability in 2020, actually winning the Apple Blossom and the Beholder Mile, 2 grade 1s at longer distances. CC was entering this race off of a disappointing performance in the Santa Maria, but maybe she's found a home sprinting.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the case too. I mean, she got a great trip in this race, but she also always looked like she was going to win. Moving to the outside here, Dan, as they come to the top of the stretch. That's the Estilo Talentoso right to her outside. I mean, she's just a very easy winner of this race at the end of the day. She takes over without much of a fight here. And from this point on, she's just clear to the wire, Dan. She was much the best in here.
So now she's a graded stakes winner at 7, a grade 1 winner at a mile and a 16th, and it looks like her connections have plenty of options. And Michael McCarthy, her trainer after the race, said he's going to Saratoga where you have plenty of options. Maybe it's a tough division, obviously, the Distaff division. You've got Latruska, you've got Swiss Skydiver, you have a lot of big names. The Filly and Mare Sprinters, well, they're no pushovers either. You have Gamine, but I wonder if CC tries to stay sort of the 7 furlong route for now.
I would like to see them do that. I mean, obviously, they could always stretch her back out because it's not like that's something that she can't do. As you mentioned, she's a grade 1 winner around 2 turns. I just feel like after the Apple Blossom, for whatever reason, and that was a very hard-fought win for her, that Apple Blossom last April, it just feels like she really tailed off after that, and her distance races weren't, nearly as good. And it's just sort of interesting to look at, the only other times they really sprinted her before this race, Dan. I mean, that Derby City Distaff last year, she ran deceptively well. That was a wicked pace that she was chasing, and she only got beat a few lengths in there. I thought she ran a deceptively good race that day.
Estilo Talentoso, just a little sluggish coming out of the gate, then on hold as we saw in between horses on the backstretch, then 4 wide around the turn. She had a look at CC turning into the stretch, but maybe that was just too much for her to overcome, considering CC's overall quality and the trip that CC got.
Well, that's probably true. I mean, I found it hard to, get too strongly behind her out of this race. Then, yeah, she was, didn't show any real early speed and did have to come to the outside. But all in all, I just didn't think she ran a super strong race here. Didn't really have much of a finish. Just got second over a big long shot there, Sound Machine. For whatever reason, it wasn't her best race, but she's run better ones than that.
Could we give Sound Machine a little bit of extra credit as being the only part of the pace still hanging around at the end? She was up close to This My Time in Pacific Gale. She moved towards Pacific Gale, and she was fighting it on in the end. She's probably not a true graded stakes Breeders' Cup kind of horse, but they stay down at Gulfstream. They can make some money with her.
Well, yeah, they could probably do all right by finding the right races for her. I don't know. I mean, thought she ran, fine in here. No match for CC when she got challenged. Couldn't hold on for second. To me, she's not the kind of horse that you want to be looking for in the bigger sprint races because she's just not that good.
Pacific Gale, again, got very good over the winter at Gulfstream. It just seems like she's tailed back off form.
Yeah, she's a hard horse to get a read on, isn't she? When she won those, 2 big graded stakes races earlier this year, you felt like maybe she turned things around. And just as quickly as she did that, she's back to not being competitive in races like this.
And perhaps as dressed up as Laura's Light was off of the off-the-turf victory at Lone Star, she's a little bit dirtied up based on her 6th place finish here, stumbled at the start, really in behind horses most of the way, didn't have much of a chance. She's probably slightly better on turf.
Probably is. She did stumble at the start here, so maybe that's enough of an excuse. But at the end of the day, she just didn't do any running at all after the stumble, and it just sort of makes me feel like she's probably not a dirt horse.
Let's take a look at the horse card for a new millionaire in CC. 1.1 million in the bank for this 5-year-old daughter of elusive quality. She's won 6 times. She has kept some very good company. She has beat some pretty nice horses in some pretty big races. And it looks like she can be a contender in this filly and mare sprint division. We take a look at the prices for the grade 2 Princess Rooney, a win and you're in for the filly and mare sprint. Second choice CC over favored Estilo Talentoso. The $1 exacta 5-1 returned $8.60.